Okay, so that was another example for you. Okay, and I'll give you a final example. Okay, and I also think it's important to recognize that we've already experienced the first term of Trump, and if he wasn't a good leader, if people truly believe that he was a person that did not put the needs and interest of the American people, they would have never have voted for him a second time. I think that many of his followers, including me, are maybe not supportive as we initially thought we were going to be. However, it is not fair to suggest that the American people do not think that he is a good leader. Otherwise, we would have not have voted for him a second time. So you're saying that this is a subjective matter, and because your subjective experience is different than mine and the American people's, and yours is more superior, and to say that he's not a good leader. It is kind of an important factor, and it does have some truth behind the claim. Can you can you give me a more specific example? Because I voted for him. So, what is some of this misinformation that you think that I believed in order to vote for him? No, I do not. They're paid by the people importing the product. So the U.S. manufacturers are the ones paying the tariffs. I mean, I knew what tariffs were because of the class that I've taken in college. Yes, but he's not technically wrong when he says that. No, it has not distorted our economy. Has gone down. I think it's at 2.4%. Interest rates have gone down. He went and said that large corporations can no longer go and buy single family homes. If we look at the GDP, if we look at inflation rates, if we look at interest rates, these are all going down. And because of tariffs, when tariffs were implemented, yes, they are going down. Inflation has gone down. Interest rates have gone down. Mm-mm. I don't think that's necessarily true. I'll give you two things. So first of all, when we see the negative decline in job markets, that is necessarily a big reason because if we look at JP Morgan, UBS, Morgan Stanley, some of the biggest, or Goldman Sachs, some of the biggest organizations, especially the financial market in general, they're laying off people at all-time high numbers. They're laying off hundreds of thousands of people, and they're not telling you that these people are not qualified. These people are coming over from Harvard, Stanford. They're coming over from some of the biggest universities, Ivy League schools, schools below Ivy League schools, and these people are getting laid off. They're not getting laid off because the job market is bad. They're getting laid off because AI is coming in and taking these people's jobs away from them.
What?
They're
What AI? What jobs is Morgan Stanley currently replacing with AI?
Yeah, so a lot of the researchers within the departments of AI are getting laid off because
Hold on, stop. Researchers in the department of AI are getting laid off at Morgan
no,
Stanley. Let's try that again.
I didn't clarify that. I'm saying that researchers within these fields in finance are getting laid off because AI.
I'm gonna need something more specific at Morgan Stanley than research. Massive amounts of people are not getting laid off at Morgan Stanley because of AI.
Yes.
That's just not true.
JP Morgan, or it was either JP Morgan or Morgan Stanley, just laid off like 150,000 people.
Okay. Well, listen.
Because of heavy investments in AI. When people in large corporations are transferring their money from one aspect
Wait.
to another.
Hold on a second. That's what you just said is different from your initial claim because of heavy investments in AI?
Yes. So when AI is being heavily invested into and it's able to conduct research at a much faster rate than humans, they're getting ultimately laid off because of their lack of research abilities, given their large investments within AI.
I'm sure that we could go back and forth on this, and I could ask you to source check or fact check and all this stuff. Regardless, like if Morgan Stanley let off 100,000 people because of X, Y, or Z, the broader claim here being that 1.1 million people were laid off last year, I doubt even 5% of that was because of AI. The job market is very, very clearly slowing down, and the vast majority of it cannot be attributed to AI. Okay.
Yes, it can.
It can't be. What do you mean? Of
Of
course it
course it
can.
can.
I think it's probably more likely that it could be attributed to the fact that interest rates haven't lowered because Donald
Yes, they
Trump.
have.
Okay, but what was the Fed originally? What was the Fed's plan to originally lower rates in 2026? Or excuse me, in
Doesn't matter
20
what
no, this does matter. In 2025, do you know how many times the Fed was planning to lower rates?
I mean,
Do you
with
know
Powell,
the answer to the question?
No, I'm
Okay,
not
so
sure.
the answer to that question is 4. And then as soon as Donald Trump won the election and he announced that he was going to have these massive tariffs, these unreal tariffs, the Fed came out and said, we're not lowering rates 4 times this year because we suspect inflation will be a lot stickier plus possibly rise in 2025, so we're going to lower rates twice. And that was proven correct when inflation went up, from 2.4% to 3% starting in April. I wonder what happened in April, probably a massive, liberation day. And so, again, the Fed's signaling that they're not going to lower rates. And while they're not lowering rates, again, this is their word, this has been their worst case scenario. Inflation is rising. And inflation is rising while the economy generally slows down. So, it's not like 2022 where we had the lowest employment rate in 54 years and the labor market is fucking red hot and inflation is ripping. You just want the economy to slow down so you can get inflation to cool. But now, in 2025, I think and the Fed clearly stated this, the concern became stagflation. You have an economy that's slowing down and you have inflation rising. They didn't say why, obviously because of Donald Trump's tariffs. And so, again, it makes far more sense that our economy has sputtered and slowed because of Donald Trump's massive tariffs, as opposed to, unless you can source this, a massive amount of jobs being laid off from AI. That just hasn't happened yet.
Well, I mean, you can credit. I'm not sure if you can credit every single job. Of course, not lost with AI.
Can you
but if
give me a
look
source that
globally-
shows that the majority of jobs being laid off are because of AI?
No, I just said that you couldn't say that the vast majority are because of AI, but there is a large percentage.
Can you give
of
me a
jobs
source?
being-
Can you give me even a source for that?
I mean, I'm in bed.
Okay, so the answer is no. You're just making it the fuck up.
Yes. No. I could definitely get.
Okay, then you could just slide
I'm
out a
not off the
TikTok
top
and
of
we
my
could
head.
we could wait. You could go on Google.
For how long? Like a minute?
Well, however long you want. I won't be able to hear you while you're at the app, but you can stay. You
Okay,
can
sure.
stay. I'll just wait.
Okay.
I'm not good. I'm sure some jobs. Oh, we'll wait. We'll chat. Good to see everyone. Double tap screen. I'm sure some jobs have been laid off by AI. Chat. But no, I don't think the most layoffs since COVID and the slowest pace of hiring in 25 years is because all the jobs are already being replaced by AI. That may come. I know we're all scared of it. Fuck, dude, there's a YouTube account right now that does political content. I forget his name. It's like Daniel Reed. Daniel Reed. The entire account is an AI generated person, a dude just speaking. And no one in the comments realizes he's AI. It's just some rando behind the screen typing a script and then generating the videos. And it's super scary. So I'm going to lose my job too. I'm going to be replaced by some AI Chris who's like, breaking news. Mike Collins says 3% from AI from Morgan Stanley. Okay. Nah, bro, come on, man. Thank you, Brent. I apologize. On YouTube, I think people can hear me now. I think maybe. Is there anybody on the YouTube side? How are we? Okay. Well, just exit out of my own. Not AI Chris. Well, it'd be a great thing. % from AI from Morgan. That's the answer to my question. If you're over on YouTube, show me some love in the chat if you're around. Some love in the chat. What a great place. Oh my God. It's front and back of the house layoffs, and it's only 3%. Well, that's definitely different than research and analysts, for the record.
Yeah, so I'm seeing around like 3 to 7% in like wealth management aspects, closer to 20% in tech sectors, which is still not that much. And then the rest of the layoffs are deemed because of just regular job losses.
Totally fair. 20, and for the record, that's a problem. 20% is high. Okay, not that doubting that. I'm just saying I think that a lot of the job market right now could be attributed to the economy slowing down. That's all.
Okay, but I also think that it's important because when Trump first implemented tariffs, everyone said that it was going to be bad. All the economists said it was going to be bad. So what happened is when tariffs were first implemented, a lot of these companies started heavily onboarding shipments, and they were able to get these shipments at market price at the time. And this would have been very bad if tariffs were to continually have been implemented. However, they were retracted, and he took back a lot of the things that he said about tariffs. So now a lot of these companies and corporations, they have a lot of products that they were able to buy at not a lower price because it was still the market price at the time, but now they have a lot of these products, and as time passes on, these products will get more expensive. So if you look at the core inflation for a lot of the grocery prices, of course there are some sectors where core inflation did rise, but a lot of people would have assumed that because of these tariffs, core inflation would have skyrocketed. However, that is not the case. In fact, a lot of core inflation decreased after these tariffs were implemented. You can check this from the BLS. You can check this from the what's the other one? The BEU or
Yeah. So a couple things, a couple things here. I want to start with the beginning, which again is like really great leadership qualities. Giving, business in the United States really a lot of security and hope, an understanding of the direction that the United States is going economically. The guy who, puts a 10% tariff on literally all goods coming in and out of the United States, and then like immediately retracts like all of them. Really again going back to our original conversation, and then just A, really good leadership qualities, but B, retracts like a bunch of them and then just goes back and forth about slamming them on. I mean, Canada, apparently there's some ad on TV in Canada that was really negative toward Trump. It was about how Ronald Reagan hated tariffs because Ronald Reagan hated tariffs. And Senator Truth Poster post out and was like, I learned about this ad, and so I'm ripping up the trade deal with Canada and I'm implementing more tariffs. So like, again, not very good leadership qualities to get emotional and decide to change, vastly change thousands of Americans' lives potentially because like you're angry at a TV ad. Again, not going to give much confidence in the markets or in business to, I don't know, let's say invest in the United States or to grow their business or to hire more, et cetera. Again, I think to your, and also you said, quote, because economists told people that this was going to be bad, businesses stocked up. Like what is a crazy way to like throw blame on the people, the literal only people who know exactly how tariffs are going to affect.
No.
Yeah, hold on. I know, but
positive.
obviously businesses stacked up because again, their business was going to be completely and totally destroyed, or they were going to have to, obviously.
Yeah, I didn't mean it in that way.
Fantastic. And I mean, yeah, we saw the inflation rate go from 2.4% to 3% or whatever, and from in 6 months. I don't know the exact numbers on the core inflation, but again, I think like tariffs are inherently inflationary. That's the whole point. So I think they've been bad. And like again, even if the answer is, well, thank God he retracted them, it's like, okay, I really wish we had a president who could. I mean, Donald Trump, for the record, like Joe Biden passed more fiscal legislation. Like legislation relating to the economy than any president in modern American history. The largest infrastructure bill since Eisenhower, a $1.7 trillion American Rescue Plan with like the largest funding for American education, maybe ever. Don't quote me on that. CHIPS and Science Act, $280 billion, a PACT Act, to give veterans health care. There's another massive fiscal bill I'm missing, but regardless, like Donald Trump up to this point, having far better lines in Congress. I mean, Joe Biden never really held both chambers, even when he did. You had one or two Democrats who were not Democrats, but Donald Trump has far better lines in Congress, and he has passed less legislation in total at this point in his presidency than any president in the last 70 years. And the only real, bill he's passed, fiscal bill, is, a big, beautiful bill that explodes our deficits and, explodes the debt and doesn't do much else besides extend tax cuts. So, like, again, when we have this conversation about just like Donald Trump's leadership ability, like he's not getting much done. I don't think you could tell me any better than Mike Johnson what Donald Trump's plans are for the economy in the next 3 months, or what his plans are for tariffs or any of these things, because he just, wakes up at 10 a.m. and, drinks Diet Coke and, tries to get rid of the Epstein files because he's a pedophile, and he decides how he feels about tariffs. And I think it's not good for business.
Okay, can see what you're saying. There was a question I was gonna ask you while you were talking. Now it's slipping my mind. Okay, so besides the job layoffs that you're seeing within the economy, what will lead you to believe that the economy is headed? Well, now we have the war with Iran, but um, that the economy is headed in an overall negative direction, given that inflation is slowing, given that interest rates are coming down,
Yeah, because
given that mortgage rates are coming
wait,
down.
you're giving this is like a what's the word? I don't know the exact word, but like you're answering your question with in your question. Like, first of all, you start with like ignoring like the job market slowing, which I mean, I think that that's a really key part. But even ignoring that, like you said, because inflation is going down and interest rates are lowering. I think that those are two signs that the economy is slowing right there. It's possible, at least. I mean, inflation obviously is going to be a little more tricky to determine that, but so if it's possible that the Fed, if my position is that the economy is slowing, and that GDP, the projected GDP this year is now like 0.7%, and it's the slowest pace of hiring in 25 years, like then the Fed's going to say, okay, and then people have less money, they're going to spend less money, inflation's going to start coming down, people are going to be saving their money more because they're concerned about the economy, and the Fed's going to say, we've got to do something about this. It's time to lower rates to get people spending again and borrowing money and heat up the economy. So number one, I think a lot of those things that you said actually point to evidence that it's possible, at least, that the economy's slowing. I think besides that, number one, I think that, and again, this is just one example. It might not be the best / could be anecdotal, but again, I think the consumer sentiment level to me is like pretty striking. It's near record lows. It's not much different than it was like during COVID. You have Americans saying like being extremely worried about their financial futures, which I think is just inherently going to lead, again, to less spending, people saving more money, less money flowing within the economy. I also think, I mean, I know you said like no layoffs, like obviously a big part of that. There was something else I was thinking of. Hold on a second. Money. I mean, I guess then I'd cite, I know you said, of course, the Iran war, but again, like, obviously you're seeing gas prices explode and the barrel of oil explode, but I also think simultaneously like that could get really, really ugly if the price of a barrel of oil, goes further and further and further up. Apparently, we learned today that the White House wasn't suspecting that Iran would close the Strait of Hormuz. That could truly turn into, if you don't get oil prices under control, that could very quickly turn into global catastrophe. So, I mean, that's not great.
Yeah, so I think that the Iran war was necessarily not the best to get involved in. I don't think that we should have been involved in it. But I do think that with investments within the United States, if we look at especially stocks and the S&P 500, people are heavily investing into these aspects. S&P 500's up all times. Dow Jones, like the one person who did the interview that kept saying Dow Jones, but these are true things. And if you look at where people are investing their money, and if they have this extra money that they are investing into the stock market, this is a big indicator that the overall economy is headed in a somewhat decent direction, even though other aspects might be quote unquote failing. It is also important to recognize that people do have these extra savings that they are putting towards investments. And there also have been reports that it's not just the rich billionaires, millionaires saving and investing their money. It's actually higher rates for the middle class individuals investing into AI and quantum computing, different sectors of investments. So I think that this is important to recognize, that this is a huge indicator of where the overall economy is heading if people have extra money to invest into the stock market.
I think that like it's become more clear over the last 30 years that the direction of the stock market is not necessarily indicative of how the economy is doing. And I think like, again, some of the other stats that I've listed, obviously would, like, I think in a lot of other times in American history would contradict what the stock market is currently doing. I don't know if that was said right. Regardless, like I think a good example of this is, and this is going to be like a little nuanced, but Like, how did you feel about the economy and like in the Joe Biden years when inflation was like really ripping 6 and 7 and 8%? Like how did, maybe not even just you, but like you or your family or anyone you talk to feel about like the economy then?
I mean, I'm 20, but my family definitely felt it.
Yeah, and I think most people I talked to felt it. I mean, but the labor market was red hot, and the S&P 500 hit a quadrillion all-time highs that year. And like again, I think that it's possible that there was some signal of strength there from the economy and like the fact that the labor market was ripping and all these things. But I'm just not so sure and convinced these days that the stock market is so representative of the American people, especially I think, a lot of the American people aren't investing, half of Americans don't fucking invest at all. So,
Yeah. So is your problem more so with the Trump administration, Republicans in general? Like, would you vote for a Republican, or are you just against the Trump administration?
I would never vote for anybody current aligned with the current Republican Party. I think like Donald Trump himself is that. I mean, he is. I think anybody aligning themselves with the current GOP is somewhere in that world. And I mean, I think that it's not just like the policies we talk about. I think that he's like incredibly dangerous to democracy. I think he's I think we're seeing the largest the largest expansion of executive authority in modern American history. I think we're bordering consistently on the line of constitutional crisis, and Donald Trump is, doing what he wants when he wants, ignoring things like U.S. law, international law. He's running a show of trying to consistently see how much he can flex his authoritarian wings, and I think that filling the executive branch with loyalists has proved, catastrophic. And a lot of different agencies are filled with loyalists who are completely and totally incompetent. And so I think the way the Republican Party currently stands, anybody associated with it, I think is, I would never vote for.
Do you think that's a generalization that you're making? Because I would consider
No.
myself Republican.
I don't think you should. I don't think you should consider. I mean, I think if you dislike Donald Trump, then you should not consider yourself Republican.
Do I dislike him? I dislike some of the
I
things
think
he
you can
does, but I
consider
also
yourself
appreciate.
I think you can consider yourself a conservative. I just don't think
Yeah, that's what I mostly do. Is
Okay, then
consider myself
I think if you say I'm a conservative, but I'm not a part of this Republican Party, then yeah, then I think that you're probably a fucking patriot. And I probably have a lot of disagreements with you, but that's fine. Like there's a lot of never Trumpers, a lot of older individuals who like have been Republican their whole lives and like spend all their time just like hating Trump. They voted for Harris and they're like, I literally don't even agree with a single policy position, but like this isn't really Democrat versus Republican. It's like American versus anti-American. People who believe in the Constitution versus people who don't. And so like, yeah, I mean, those people are conservative, and I fucking love them. They're patriots.
Yeah. So if you had advice for me, so I think one of the main reasons that I vote conservative and Republican is because I think that one of the things I simply cannot vote for, and I think a lot of Democrats in general support, is that I truly believe that life starts at conception. I think that I don't even believe this. I think that life does start at conception. It's a scientific fact that life starts at conception. And I think that if I truly believe that that is the case, if I truly believe that there is a unique being at conception, and I continue to vote for legislation that votes against this, and that's a true moral belief that I hold to be true, I do think that it is unjust when people get abortions, and I don't think that it's necessarily their fault because they do not think that life starts at conception. People have different meanings of when life starts, but that's just something that I cannot get over, is the fact that I believe this to be the case, and I watch people support legislation that goes against that moral. And I just like you to put yourself in my shoes. If you were to truly believe that life starts at conception, if you believe that they have morals and values, how would you vote for someone who denies that is the truth?
Well, two things here. Obviously, like I'm gonna have like a really, really obviously like strong disagreement about the abortion aspects, and I think that like a lot of the abortion legislation we're seeing is killing women who are pregnant who want to be having children, and killing women in general because they have less access to health care. I think United States has the highest maternal mortality rate in the developed world. Women who die while pregnant, while giving birth, or shortly after birth. In red states like Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, those rates are significantly higher. And I think that's a direct cause, or at least there is some cause. There's a direct correlation with, excuse me, let me back up for a second. Some of that increase in death in the southern states is caused by these abortion bans, and it's making it harder for doctors to practice. Doctors are getting up, they're leaving the state. Women are scared to get help. Doctors often are not giving them adequate help because I think the state's overbearing on their ability to do so, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If in a different universe I believed what you said, then yeah, I'd probably have a real moral conundrum on my hand if I believed that that was actually murder, which again, I don't think that's
You believe that life starts at conception?
Yes, it's not. I just don't think that life is valuable at conception. So,
And why is that the case?
because I think that it's pretty well established within science that sentience, for example, doesn't begin until, I don't know, 24, 25, 23 weeks. And I think before then, I don't see any reason to assign value to the life. I also think that even in that debate, because again, I think I also think two 20-year-old dudes just chopping it up about an issue that is only going to affect women is a little, don't love that. But I even think that if affect
a woman.
Well, what's up?
It doesn't just affect.
Yeah, but here's the part that does affect a woman is that even if we were going to agree or disagree on that, or we were going to debate this aspect, again, number one of the things I understand fundamentally is that government, the role of government and implementing laws. In a perfect world, everybody, about pretty much every single person in relation to every single major law is going to be a little bit upset. And I think that it's possible to hold a belief, and I don't know anyone that I've met that would agree with this, but that's okay because I think I'm the smartest person to ever live. I think it's possible to believe, actually, that you're against abortion while simultaneously recognizing that it is not possible for the government to effectively, for lack of a better term, clamp down on this issue because it leads to a lot of death, a lot of suffering, and it's not the government's role to be, monitoring what a woman does with her kid. And I think it's possible to hold that belief and still, if you really are passionate about it, do advocacy work around talking to women about the issue or talking to doctors or going in the scientific community and arguing it. But again, we say, it doesn't just affect women. I mean, sure, but also again, there's again, in these southern states that have abortion laws that are written by a bunch of state legislators who make $12,000 a year, and they're all a bunch of white dudes with second jobs. None of those jobs are doctors. When they write very confusing legislation, the people who feel the impact are women who die when they show up to the hospital with a kid that they want to have a child, and they end up dying because they don't have access to health care. Women who no longer have a primary care doctor because their OBGYN got up and closed shop because they felt like they could no longer effectively do work. Half of counties in Georgia don't have a OBGYN. Some women are driving well over an hour to see a primary care doctor. That's never been an issue for either you or I. We can fucking go anywhere to see a primary care doctor. And there's so many tragic stories of women who are pregnant and want to be pregnant and die because of this legislation. And so therefore, again, I think it is possible to hold both views at the same time.
I agree. I think that it is important for me. I don't think that you can just go out and ban abortion outright. I think that there are steps in which you can take to help lower the rates in which abortions happen, and I think you would agree with that abortions should be lowered in ways that aren't just saying that abortions are illegal, but ways in which that we can help these women figure things out.
I'm sorry to cut you off. And this would be a good example of if we were both sitting in government positions, a good way to compromise. I don't really necessarily give much thought to what the rate of abortion is, but I do have a really great statistic, and there's been multiple really large studies on this, that places specifically around young people, so high schools, middle schools, colleges, communities that give out free contraceptives, condoms, for example, and then give, extensive like health classes on sex and the anatomy of men and women in high school or in middle school, or really it should start in middle school, have significantly lower rates of abortions because people are not getting accidentally pregnant. So in my world, I think we should have more sex education in this country because that's just healthcare in general, and I think that's good, right? And I would say we can achieve what I want and what you want by providing more contraceptives in school.
Yeah. This is going to sound like a tangent, but I think it's also something that I've found very interesting, and I agree with everything that you just said as well. But I've been taking a lot of classes in philosophy and ethics, and I've been taking a lot of different classes in human development, and I think it's very interesting because we can look at ancient philosophers, modern philosophers, and their idea of what makes human unique when life is valuable has changed dramatically. At first, they thought it started at conception, and they started thinking that it happened at consciousness, which then they realized consciousness fully doesn't develop, maybe even until the age of 1, that consciousness doesn't exist. And they started going and saying that it was when the heartbeat started, and then they said it's when sentience started. They have all of these different ideas of when life should be considered valuable. However, most ancient philosophers and modern philosophers, say that there is something intrinsically valuable when conception begins, because that is when life starts. So to say that life is valuable at the heartbeat, at sentience, at consciousness, these are all stages of development. And I think to hone in on one particular aspect of what makes someone valuable is a dangerous slippery slope that many people fall upon. And I also think that it is worth noting that many of the people that I talk to who are pro-abortion, they think that, as you were saying, you think that it's at sentience. They don't think that sentience is what makes humans valuable. They think that they could have an abortion all the way up to the very last day before the baby is born, and that wouldn't be considered immoral because the baby has not yet been born. So I think that it is dangerous for us to assume what makes someone valuable based off our subjective own experiences. We need to consider when life starts, and that is at conception. And from there, I don't think it is fair to assume or associate what makes someone more valuable or less valuable when people truly believe they can have an abortion at 35 weeks, 40 weeks, and it is not considered immoral because the infant has not been born.
I don't think that there's anybody who's not like a literal psycho killer who believes that, like who believes that they can have an abortion, right before the baby comes out and consider it okay.
Yes, that I promise you that is very, very, very true, especially in college. That is something that is widely held among a certain population of people at university. They truly believe that they could get an abortion at 30 weeks, and that is justified because the baby has not been born yet. They truly believe that at any point during their pregnancy, they should have access to an abortion. And I know that you may not necessarily agree with that because you think that at 20 to 4 weeks, sentience begins. But this is a very widely held view amongst college students. I cannot say it is safe to say that the general public believes this, but I think that is extremely dangerous for society.
Well, I think to one point you said, and then I do have to cycle people up because it's 2 a.m. But you have been respectful, even though I have, we've thrown some shots at each other. Quickly, I do think it's. I mean, again, I'm always. There's two things I'm going to do always in this conversation, which is number one, if it came to like legislating it, I'm going to throw it to doctors and I'm going to throw it to women. So in my comment here, I don't think should hold as much weight, but. In all of that, I might not. I don't know that. I think that there's a world where I actually wouldn't be opposed. It's kind of hard to say how this would play out in practice, and I'm not sure how much I agree with this, but like I think it's possible, for instance, to not legislate abortion at all. To say this can be done whenever. And then, this would be like a free market argument that, there's not, I don't think right now, given, 8 weeks, anybody here could find a doctor within 250 miles of them that would be willing to provide an abortion past 28 weeks. I bet you could spend 8 weeks searching in the United States and you wouldn't be able to find one. And so some people argue that, like, again, like, maybe throw it to the people who studied medicine for decades and went to medical school and understand some of these things to, if you don't regulate it at all, then, let the doctors decide. I think that's, well, two things. Number one, I think it's reasonable because I always think we should let the doctors and science decide, and then also the government isn't involved in healthcare decisions.
Again, I think that's very dangerous to always let the scientists decide and always let science decide everything. I think that's.
I'm not sure what else. I mean, look, like, I'm sure in 100 years we'll be like, damn, like, all my balls have a bunch of microplastics. Look at how they treated Chris's balls, and that's gonna suck. But, like, right now, we I don't know what else can guide us in these things. I mean, when it comes to health, when it comes to the health of human beings, like, I just got to put my faith in the people who study medicine.
But that's the thing, is we're dealing with human life. We're dealing with infants in the womb who cannot speak for themselves. And to say at one point, scientists said that we should value life at consciousness. And then they started realizing that consciousness does not develop not fully, until the age of 1. If we would have started performing abortions, that means that we would have been performing abortions outside of the womb because they did not develop the consciousness scientists thought or deemed to be worthy of life. I think that if we leave what makes human life valuable up to scientists, is very, very, very dangerous. Very dangerous.
All right, well, listen, I got to cycle a few people up because it's 2 in the morning. I appreciate you coming up. You are welcome back anytime.
All right.
All right?
All right, appreciate you.
Think about your support of Trump. Maybe vote for independence in 26.
Might have to. All right.
We'll
Thank you.
Soon. Peace. Yeah, Chad, listen. I'm like abortion is something I'm very passionate about, especially the issue of, like, how abortion laws are implemented in states like Georgia, coming from Georgia, talking to women in Georgia. But I just think I'm in the position at this point that I should, like, have a woman on the panel if that discussion is going to be had. And so, I mean, probably shouldn't have got that deep into it, but I was, like, ready to like, I had to move to the next guest anyways. So. Oh, no, bruh. I think we should just leave a lot more shit up to doctors and women. Our country would probably be in a better place. We live in an era of anti-intellectualism, folks. Not to talk to, like, that guest specifically. I'm just saying in general. All right, double tap the screen. Dark Sunray, great to see you. Ella, great to see you. I mean, it'd be a better place because Kamala Harris would be the president of the United States. I mean, wouldn't have had massive tariffs, and we wouldn't be rounding people up with ICE. Probably wouldn't be at war with Iran because, I don't know, Kamala Harris, I mean, having Donald Trump is probably, I don't even think there's really, like, a good, Kamala Harris could be, like, six shots deep, blindfolded, half awake all the time. And, like, she'd probably still be an executive better decision maker. I mean, that woman's brilliant. Than fucking Donald J. Trump. Yeah. Probably be in a better place. That's all right, though. I mean, not really. It's all right for me. It's actually not. I mean, it's not all right for my mental health. I don't have DHS agents asking for my fucking ID because I'm white and I have blue eyes. So it's not okay for my mental health. It's definitely worse for other people out there. If you're a Trump supporter, let me know. It's probably easier if you let me know in the comments, honestly. Then why isn't she president? Because she lost, Edward. Appreciate the really insightful comment there, man. It's like, really, we needed to hear that. That was, like, quality stuff. Inviting people up who are, talking shit in the comments, they'll never come up. So 75K likes. You guys are the best. Double tap the screen. Hello, Dark Sunray. You guys are the best. Good to see people on YouTube. You know what? Maybe we should open up the chat for YouTube, see what happens. Maybe it'll get ugly, but fuck it. Right? Oh, look, someone talking shit came up. Hello?
What's up, dude?
No, here we go. Oh, jeez. Yeah, how old are you, bro?
I'm 40 years old, man.
All right. Why? What was making you upset in the comments?
Dude, I don't understand why you guys keep crying about Kamala Harris, bro.
Kamala is her name.
Kamala Harris lost.
Kamala is her name.
Kamala Harris lost.
All right, so
Get over it.
here's the deal, right? We can talk about Trump. You're a grown man. Actually, literally more than, well, not quite double my age. But that means that I know for a fact, and that's not a problem, but that means that I know for a fact you know how to have a conversation, right? So you can make a decision up here. You can be a 46-year-old grown man and be so pressed about a name that you're going to purposely say it wrong. And I'll kick you because you're...
Homie, what did I say wrong? Kamala Harris. That's her name. No?
Nope. Her name is Kamala. So you can pronounce it right, or you could be a crybaby, and I'll kick you. It's up to you.
Camel Toe Harris. Is that better?
All right, so again, do you have a wife? That's
none of your business.
Right. That's not surprising at all. It's because you act like this. So let's try one more time, and we'll try to have a conversation. Like, I promise you, this is why. This is why your wife left, or divorced you, or cheated, or you don't have a wife. It's one of those four things. And I definitely hit one of them because of how you just reacted. So do me a favor, just don't act like this. Let's try this one. I'll give you one more opportunity. Kamala is her name. Just say it right. You don't have to be like, it's just a name. It can't press you that. You can't be so much.
Kamala Harris.
Okay, great. We don't have to be so much of a snowflake about a name. Great. Now, why do you like Trump?
Dude, there's a lot of reasons why I like Trump.
Cool.
I mean, getting us out of the Paris Climate Accords, border policy, child tax credits. Let's see, what else?
Okay.
The fact that he's not Kamala Harris and she was in office and utterly failed. She had no solution. Her entire policy was a copy and paste of Joe Biden's. And what did she do? Oh, yeah, she tried to steal Trump's policies, too.
All right.
Like, that's pathetic, brother. It's pathetic.
Let's talk about a couple of things here. Her name is Kamala, by the way. Let's talk
All
about...
right, Shamala.
All right, bro.
M. Night Shyamalan.
If you're a Trump supporter, you let me know. Man. He made his choice, you know. He's going to be a 46-year-old baby, so it's be safe out there, bro. Actually, be safe. I don't know. If text your wife, figure out where she. Actually, don't bother her. She's with a man who's, you know, probably making her happy. That's honestly matters more. Just go ahead and head out for me, all right? How the fuck do I get YouTube to be, like, change the chat on YouTube? Damn, bro, this is, like, annoying to me. I know there's a button to change, like, the moderation of chat. Or not moderation, I'm sorry. Whoops. The, like, who's allowed to chat. Okay, I just inserted a fucking ad by accident. God fucking damn it. No. I just want the button to change. If you're a Trump supporter, let me know. W cash flow. He said, what do you say to people who think you're shooting too many threes? Fuck them. Bro, how do I'm gonna kill my mom. I'm gonna kill my dad. How to change who can chat YouTube live. Just looking straight up. Why not, bro? Accept defeat. All right. If you're a Trump supporter, let me know. Bro, my guy wants back in here. He's in the guest request. Bro, what did we learn? What did we learn? I am using OBS, yes. But like I'm saying like the chat, like on, is there chat settings on OBS? You kind of were the baby there. All right, bro. He is going to crash out. Of course he is. Guys, you want to see something crazy? You were the baby. Buddy, it's a name. If you can't, if you are so, like, if somebody says their name, my name is Chris, and you don't pronounce it right on purpose, you are a fucking loser, dude. You're just a snowflake. Like, you're so, Like you're just so, I don't know, warped in your own brain or insecure or like purposely acting like a toddler that you just, you make a fit over a name. Just say it right. It's so simple. Like, holy fucking shit. Like, navigate to live control room, edit, live chat to adjust settings. Yeah, that sounds really simple, but I just don't think it's that simple. Let's see here. I want to discard. Edit. Okay. Oh my. I want to kill me, man. Brother. It's definitely here. Wait, what was it again? Edit, and then select live chat. Bro, where the fuck is live chat at? Oh my. Oh, here we go. Anyone. I did it. All right, let's see what happens in the YouTube chat now. Probably nothing good. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. We're just going to see. I just want to see something. All right. I'm sorry. Just for a minute. Just a test. Oh my God, bro. Okay.
Oh my Lord, you let me back.
All right.
Are you done crying about Kamala Harris now?
All right. So you got one more opportunity to actually be a grown man and have a conversation. Okay.
You have one more opportunity. Stop being a beta cuck, dude. No. Really.
Do you have a wife?
Are you that sensitive? See, this is the problem with you liberals. No. Is yours.
All right, bro. You be good. I think the sensitive one, you're crashing out and calling a kid half your age a quote beta cuck on a TikTok live because you couldn't pronounce Kamala right because you're so pressed about a black woman. Like I think the person who's being a snowflake is you. I think the person who should be embarrassed is you, bro. Like it's 2:10 in the morning on a Friday night. Your wife is gone. Like go to bed. Go to sleep. Hey, don't bother me, bro. Jesus Christ. Hello?
Hello.
Hi. How old are you?
I am 26.
Amazing. Why'd you vote for Trump? Pepper, Grits, Mo. Good to see everyone.
Lizzie,
no longer silence.
I want to thank you, Dean, and Parker for changing my mind on everything that you guys have done and this TikTok lives that you've done. I do not support Trump anymore. He's a, can I say it on this live or no?
I don't know what you're about to say.
He's a pedophile.
You know what? W's. This is me doing W's. Keep going. Keep fucking going. Come on.
Anybody that has voted for him should be ashamed of yourselves. And I voted for him. I literally voted for him. And everything that has happened, I would go back and vote for Kamala Harris. Easily.
Can we get some W's for Hayden in the chat?
It's disgusting. I'm not going to take too much of your time.
Listen, really quickly before you go, I fucking appreciate you. You're the GOAT. I'm proud of you because politics is not an easy game these days. Even just trying to like question your own fucking views wherever you stand is very hard. I'm proud of you, and I hope you have a great fucking weekend. All right?
You too.
Thanks.
I just want to thank you guys again.
Yeah,
thank you so much for everything you guys have doing.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry. Well, I apparently. Okay, it was because he used the P word. You know, I'm not even mad about it. Wait, is my live still restricted or okay? Maybe it's just restricted. I think it's done being restricted because I kicked him. He got a flag, and I was just like pressed. I'm like, are we serious right now? No, we're good. I don't think my shit's fucked up. I think we're good. No, we don't have a. We're good. I don't think we have a restriction. Do we have a restriction? Double tap the screen. I don't see a restriction. How do I? Oh my God, I hate fucking TikTok Live Studio, dude. Oh, I mean, the viewership is like going down slowly, which is usually a bad sign for the restriction. We got a restriction in this chat. Hello, double tap the screen for me, everybody. Good to see everyone. I love you so much. Oh my, bro, TikTok Live Studio sucks, dude. Like this shit is trash. Good to see everybody over on the YouTube side. I love the Purdue, Valerie. Yeah, that was freaking awesome. That was Ella. Good to see you. I do for 10 minutes. Okay, I have a restriction for 10 minutes. So do we wait the 10 minutes or do we restart? By the way, while we're making a decision, because just wait. Well, people are saying wait. Well, listen, while we wait, I made a great video. The reason I'm in a suit is because I made a great video. A lot of people are saying restart. I made a great video. I'm about to make that decision today with a great U.S. senator. You may be familiar with her. I was telling people earlier. It's a little bit, some of my short form content with elected officials has flopped in the past. Okay, so I had to try something new. So I went up to a beautiful senator, and I said, "Excuse me, Senator blank. Here's my idea." I gave it to her. 15 seconds. She cooked. You might know this amazing individual right here.
How long have we got before we actually, what is it? Oh, before we actually go on set. Oh, this is going to be fun.
Oh, hi there.
Yeah, so here we are. Back behind. Oh, sorry. Who is that?
She said, "Who's that guy?" And then the whole time I'm like trying to get my phone back, and she's like, "Yeah, leave me alone." I'm like, "Damn, okay. She was really nice. W. Elizabeth Warren. All right. So did we agree on restart, or did we agree on wait? Wait, restart, wait, do a poll, do a flip. Oh my God, how's it already 2 a.m? She is awesome. Wait it out, restart, your call. Restart, wait, restart, wait. Restart, poll, restart, probably, we're restarting. It's going to take me 2 seconds. Don't worry, YouTube, you're going to stay up. I'm restarting. I will be back in literally 15 seconds. Here we go. Damn, that's tough, but it had to be done. I didn't have a choice, YouTube. We're going back live, don't worry. That's my new senator. Oh my God, you're right. Let's go. She is the best. Yo, Pepper, thank you. That's very kind. I really, really appreciate you. Seriously. Really? Empire? That's dope. Actually, I'm not too familiar with some of Senator Warren's specific stuff on crypto, but I'm sure. I already know, dude. I get that. Oh, grits. I appreciate that. People are back instantly. Yo, you guys are back. I should post this video now. It's 2 a.m. I guess I'll just post it tomorrow. I gotta fucking, I'm gonna figure out if I'm gonna clip it at all. I wanna kill my mom. I wanna kill my dad. My hair's fucking crazy. Oh my. Amy. Holy smokes. Okay, we're gonna wait a second to get some people on TikTok. Give a shout out. Oh, of course I can, Raya. Of course. I gotta figure out how I can achieve such an amazing goal. I know I can. But yes, I will absolutely make that happen. You're the GOAT. Oh my goodness, Soul Music. Thanks so much for the $5 YouTube super chat. Really goes a long way. Love when I find normal-minded people live when I can't sleep. Thanks for speaking up against wacky shit. W's for the caller who finally got out of MAGA. Yo, Soul, appreciate you being here. Thank you. I know it's very, very late, so it means the world. Yeah, I hope you're enjoying the stream. W Soul Music. I really appreciate $5. Seriously, I don't take that for granted ever. That goes like a really fucking long way. Genuinely, I mean that. Like, I'm a caffeine fucking monster. There's like 100 of these on my desk, and that's a quick one of those. So I genuinely mean it. I know things are expensive right now. I know it because I fucking pay for shit. I had to pay for rent. So like it really, really means the world. So you're the GOAT, Soul Music. All right, we'll get back to some TikTok. Also crazy here. Amy M. Fuck. $20 on Venmo. Genuinely, I never take it for granted. I just do TikTok lives these days for fun. I'm so grateful for that. So appreciative. Genuinely, that's crazy. Can we get some W's in the chat for Amy? Great TikTok lives. You're amazing. Thank you. Genuinely means the world. Means the world. Like genuinely, Amy, I appreciate that. Yeah, maybe we're gonna see this. This becomes the. Okay, if you're a Trump supporter, let me know. Emma, good to see you. Okay, if you're a Trump supporter, you let me know. Oh my goodness. Trump is a skid mark to society. Honestly, so well said. Wait, hold up. How old are you?
No, I just needed to let you know.
Wait, how old are you?
I just lost my food.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I can't. I will get my account instant nuked. Got to be 18 to join TikTok live. Listen, GORG on the YouTube side, $7 Canadian dollars. I'm so sorry to my Canadian friends. I know that doesn't mean much anymore. Like, and I get, I totally respect that. I get it. We're fucking, what the fuck have we become? But I'm trying. Okay, can't say I'm not trying. Thank you so much for $7 Canadian dollars. Genuinely, that means the world. I never take it for granted. I love you. Can we get some W's? We'll just say G for G in the chat. Thank you. If you are a Trump supporter, let me know. Genuinely, like, it means the absolute world. Buddy, oh my God. There's no way. Bro, go to sleep. Go to sleep.
I'm back. Why do you keep coming in my feed, bro? That's weird.
Okay.
Like, I don't follow you.
All right.
But you're in my feed.
I'm so sorry about that. Well, you want to have a conversation?
No, it's just weird. Don't you think that's kind of weird?
Okay. Do you want to have a conversation about politics?
Yeah, we were having a conversation about Harris.
All right. Okay. And where did that end off?
You getting really sour because I didn't say her name right.
Yeah. Okay. So before we go to some of the things surrounding, the actual election itself, how do you I feel like my initial question starts with peace president, no new wars guy, war in Iran where over 10 U.S. service members are dead and over 150 are wounded in some capacity, and a U.S. taxpayer-funded missile slammed into a school, killing over 150 young children. So the no new wars peace guy ushering in what appears to be regime change war. Why does that seems a little confusing to me.
Yeah, well, did I say I support that? You're assuming I support everything the president does.
That actually wasn't my assumption. I think if you looked at me and said, I don't support that, but here's why, I don't know, it's not a breaking point, or here's why I'm not confused about it, or, I
get it, pretty. But you're assuming that's okay. Oh, you must love all these things.
My point was not for that. Again, that wasn't my point. My point was, I think, asking about Donald Trump running on very specific things that I think were really key to people. The economy.
Look, I understand. I didn't like it when Obama took out Gaddafi. Okay. I didn't like it when they went into Libya or boom boom Syria.
Okay.
I don't like any of it.
Yeah. But that's exactly why I'm asking the question, is because people who say they don't like any of it, one of Trump's main things, I talk to people about this all the time before the election, is promising no more regime change, no more endless wars, no more doing what we've done in Washington. So instead of saying, oh, I don't like when any other president did it, Trump was supposed to not be any other president. Hence why I think there is some people who are very shocked or / upset about this. So if you don't care, then that's fine. I'm just Chris, it doesn't raise questions about who he is as a person.
Who's your congressman? Who's your congressman?
My congressman, right? My sitting U.S. congressman?
Yeah, you're wherever you're living.
I think right now
who is your congressman?
I moved to, no, I do. I do know. I was going to say I recently moved to Illinois, and I think I'm in Danny Davis's district.
Are you in Cook County?
Yes.
Okay, I think you're right. So mine's Ted Lieu, right? So has Ted Lieu been he's a Democrat. Has he stood out against the engagement in Iran? No, he hasn't.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, I hope you're understanding that this situation is not a Trump thing. It's very bipartisan with a lot of Democrats.
Okay, well, again, happy to dive into that.
I understand. I don't like it, but what I'm saying is, our local congressman isn't doing a damn thing about it.
Okay, that's great. Again, I just think happy to talk about that. I just think some people. You cannot.
Okay, how many amendments are
there? Can I hold on?
How many amendments are
there?
Can I,
brother, please. I got to be able to get out a word. Okay, if you could just let me speak. I was going to reply to your last point. Okay. The answer to your last question is 27. Before I go to your last point, see, now I'm fucking all fuck. Again, like you could say it's not a big, I don't like it, but it's not a big deal to me. But that's not that's fine. That's an answer. I'm just asking because for a lot of people, something like Donald Trump being the change candidate, something like No New Wars feels fundamental to who he is. And to see him engage in a war that has no, like the administration, I mean, this has got to be like, they're not even trying to give an explanation for it. It makes no sense. It's upset a lot of people. That's all.
Oh no, it's not good. And it makes the Republican Party look really bad.
Okay.
Because when you look at this Republican Party, are we really seeing just a bunch of leftover Republican neocons like Marco Rubio frothing out the mouth, for regime changes all over the world? Does it have more to do with strategic alliances or strategic positioning, global positioning? There could be a lot of reasons. We don't know all the details. We never will, unfortunately. We just never will. Now, if I could snap my fingers and get rid of the mullahs, would I? Absolutely. I think anybody would. But the situation at hand, Trump never said he wouldn't. Yeah, he said, I'm a peace president, no new wars. Yeah, he did say that. And I hope he stands by that. But right now, you can't sit there. I'm not the type of person. Okay, for example, I'm the kind of person that when I'm watching a football game, right, and my quarterback's in the red zone, he may throw an interception, right? I'm not going to sit there and be like, bench the guy. Oh, my God, the world's over. The game's not over. We have to stand by our guy and hope he does the right decision. But giving up and putting the blame on everybody, and especially the blame on Trump, is really irresponsible because I've never heard any president, and I'm 40 years old, not say Iran is a problem. They've all said it.
Okay, Iran, there's two things here. Number one, Iran is a problem. Number two, the difference between this and a football game is that, there's 12, 10. I mean, and part of my confusion here is actually just because we have to learn this from secondary sources, which the Pentagon then confirms because they're so incompetent. But there are over 10 U.S. families waiting right now to get their, kids back to bury them. And, obviously there's hundreds of children dead. So real life consequences here. I agree that every U.S. president, rightfully so, has, an issue with the current Iranian regime. I think it's more indicative seeing how kind of this has fallen on its face. The administration admitting to, or we're learning today that the administration wasn't prepared for the type of action Iran was willing to take in the Strait of Hormuz, and obviously a lot of confusion about how long this is going to last. There's probably a reason a lot of administrations didn't like the Iranian regime but chose not to initiate direct conflict with them because, I don't know, for a variety of reasons, including regime change is bad, and they have strategic, options that could be very, very negative. It could be a very drawn-out thing, and it's clear like this administration didn't really. I don't know what the fuck they think about. I mean, honestly, it's so depressing how incompetent these people are. But so I just think I just think that we shouldn't back the guy. We should push for more understanding and more reasoning around this war, and put pressure on them to either give that or back down.
Understandable. But at the same time, the most important thing to do would be to push candidates that more align with our anti-war stance when it comes to engagements in the Middle East.
Okay. So do you believe that Donald Trump is still that candidate?
Well, here's the thing. Donald Trump, he's going to only be there for another 3 years.
Hypothetically.
Right. So, to sit here and just be like, oh my gosh, doom and gloom, Trump, right, is not healthy. What's healthy is trying to get candidates in there to try to get us away from being so buddy, in my opinion, with Israel.
Oh, God. All right. Well,
it's
why
just
else?
A fact. Most Americans are feeling it. You can't deny it.
Okay. Why else do you like Trump?
Well, I told you. I mean, for example, the border. For example, I mean, look at the amount of I can't, SAers they've taken off the streets that were here illegally. I mean, that's huge.
Well, I mean, first of all, I think undocumented people are far less likely to commit violent crimes than U.S.-based citizens. That's number
Yeah,
one.
well, that's debatable, isn't it?
No, it's actually really not.
No, it is.
Nope. I mean, it is. Technically, anything is debatable. But if we were to debate it, you have no evidence to suggest that undocumented people are more likely to commit crimes. And I have at least 2, probably 3, really large, very impressive studies. One of them spanning, like 8 years in Texas, and the other one spanning 54 years, to show all with the same conclusion that undocumented people are far less likely to commit violent crime than U.S. citizens. So we could debate it. It'd be like if we debated if the Earth is flat, right? It's like we could do that,
Chris.
But
even if 1% are committing crimes, that 1% is still preventable. Would you agree?
I mean, I think that all crime in general we should try to prevent it.
No. Chris,
I understand what you're saying. I understand where you're going with this. But the problem I see is that when we start this conversation, I think it actually leads to a lot of. I think it leads to a really dangerous rhetoric. So, kind of inferring consistently that this is a problem because people who do not look like us, who do not live here, are somehow more likely to commit crimes. That might not be what you're intending to say, but when we go down, even 1% of people who commit crimes are undocumented, that's not fair. So we're running around saying, we have to take violent, undocumented people off the streets. I think it creates a culture of the culture that we're seeing it really explode in the United States, raging of, things like racism. And I think that that's bad. I also think that, again, I just don't. It's also suggesting a notion that there is some massive violent crime problem in the United States overall, or stemming from undocumented people, and that just doesn't exist.
You heard the other day, right? There was a anti-Islam protest in New York, and some guy threw whether could be a improvised, explosive device into a crowd of people. Now, this person was a nationalized immigrant family from Afghanistan. So, look, the bottom line is Islam's just not compatible. Okay? It's just not. It's not, bro. Okay. It's not.
That's So
now here's the thing.
I feel like you just instantaneously proved the point I made 30 seconds ago, which is you go down the realm of claiming that crime this, and then all of a sudden you have a bunch of super racist, super Islamophobic people. Dude, do you know how many? Do you know how
accurate?
Yeah, except it is accurate. Can you answer me a question really quickly before we continue? How many Christians are there in the world?
I don't know, millions.
Okay,
billions.
Hold on a second. Oh my God, sorry, I'm fucking dealing with. Here, I'll look it up because I actually don't know the answer to this one. But there's a point to this.
Yeah, but Chris,
can you be quiet for a second? Thanks.
Can I make a point really quick?
No, I'm gonna go down this road.
You don't want to talk. You don't want to have a conversation.
Okay, so there are between 2.3 and 2.6 million Christians in the world, around the world. Okay, how many Jewish people are in the world?
There's no way anybody could have those numbers.
Okay, well, lucky for you, the answer is roughly 15 million. Okay, how many Muslim individuals do you think exist in the world?
Billions.
Yeah, the answer is 2 billion, right? So, again, the reason I brought up those three predominant religions is because, this suggestion that this isn't, Jesus Christ, fucking Jesus, this isn't compatible. Is again, obviously, just there is the vast majority, 99.9%, for example, of people of Muslims, right, are obviously going to be normal everyday people, practicing their religion peacefully, similarly to the similar amount of Christians around the world, similarly to the similar amount of Jewish people around the world. And I just think it's really gross and disgusting, and I think that to suggest otherwise.
Okay, you said I was Islamophobe, and now
why is it not? I don't give a fuck about phobia as being scared. Yeah, I know.
Phobia is being an irrational fear of something, an irrational fear. I'm afraid to go outside. I'm agoraphobic. That's an irrational fear of something that's not going to harm you. See, I have an actual rational fear of Islam. I do not like it. I'm not a very religious man, but when I'm trying to go to work in Los Angeles and I got a bunch of people waving Muslim flags protesting a 3,000-year-old war half across the world, when I'm just trying to work, my friend, I have a problem with this. I have a problem with all of it. Okay. But mostly I have a problem with the Islam. Yeah.
So what makes it not compatible?
I just told you.
No, you didn't. You told me that you were upset that when you drive to work in Los Angeles, you're upset that you see.
Not just that. When my friends are at protests.
Okay, so you see people
and almost be unalive.
Okay, wait.
Because
can I ask?
Some guy wants to say Allahu Akbar.
Can I
chuck an improvised explosive device into a crowd?
First of all, you've named one person. Okay, I just want to point out again, like if we were to do any amount of analytics on this, you're far more likely to die at the hands of an event from someone who looks like me, for example. Like when we look
no, you're not.
Yes.
No, the people of Austin, Texas did not get unalive by the hands of someone that looked like you. In fact, the man was black and wearing a Property of Allah shirt.
Okay. Can you shut the fuck up for a second? Okay? Let me finish my sentence, please. Yeah. I understand that, and that's horrible, and it's terrible, and it's wrong. The point I was making was that statistically overall, like the point I'm making is that people who don't look like me are not more likely to carry out an event that with an explosive. I'm like explaining basic racism to you right now. Like people who are, let's just say, don't look like me are not more likely to commit an act of terror or do something bad. Furthermore, in the first two examples you listed about why it's not compatible, you don't know that any of those people, like what their practicing religion is. And the first example was you're mad when you go to work and you see people waving flags. I think it is just stunning that I'm having this conversation.
Blocking my ability to work.
Okay, so how does that make it? Hold on. How does people protesting, again, people you don't know anything about them besides what you can see, you don't know what religion they practice, how does that relate to saying Islam is not compatible in the United States? Like in 2017, and if I had it my way, this is how it would be. And it wouldn't be via the government in any capacity, but you would be completely and totally ostracized from society. You would get up on a TikTok, like a live like this, for example, let's just say if TikTok existed, and nobody would give you a job, nobody would rent you a house, nobody would rent you an apartment, nobody would be friends with you. You would be completely and totally ostracized from society. And that's how it pretty much was up until right about 2020 when all this really, exploded right in our faces, and now you're just like can be normal and proud about this stuff. But like this is fucking crazy. I mean, how am I like on a basic level describing like just racism to you? What you're saying is bad. It's just
no, it's not.
Why do you believe an entire group of people who practice a different religion are more violent than you?
It's not even about being violent, but like, dude, I'm a videographer. I film weddings all over the country. Whenever I'm doing a Muslim wedding, let me tell you something. There's no white people there. They're not interested in being your friend, Chris.
Wait,
I'm sorry to break this to you.
What the fuck? Wait. Who give? Okay, can I just really quickly? Who gives a fuck? Wait, like why? Why does that matter at all?
You just made my point. It's not, dude. They don't want to be compatible.
Wait. What does compatible? Wait. What the fuck does compatible mean to you? That they're friends with you? That people are friends with you?
That would help.
So you're upset that like. What are we dude? Like, okay, I don't think.
Dude, we have a governor.
Can I say something?
Right now?
No. If you went to a wedding from someone who doesn't look like me and you didn't see any other white people, the people at that wedding are probably going to be like, mainly family, for example. It's probably not going to be a lot of white people. I'm sure a lot of those people have friends that, are other races. Maybe they didn't invite them to the wedding, or maybe they don't. And who gives a flying fuck? Because that doesn't have any issue with compatibility. Or if you're upset that like people won't be friends with you, that's a different conversation. But you started this being like literally, again, suggesting that thousands of people in the United States, hundreds of thousands, who are in our communities, working jobs with families, loving parents, loving brothers, our doctors, our lawyers, our are people who work down the road at gas stations or car washes, like all of these people who you see on a daily basis are not compatible with our society. If you don't understand how that could perpetrate an enormous amount of violence against those communities, how maybe, I don't know, a parent hearing that when they're just trying to like live in the suburbs of fucking North Carolina or something, they've done nothing but follow the laws here. They're here legally. They pray on their own time. They don't fucking bother anyone. They have friends in their neighborhood. That would probably really scare the shit out of them. That you're saying just these abhorrent things about people who are just trying to live.
No, dude. I have a mosque down the street from my house in Chicago, right? And every fucking day, bro, it is a shit show in front of the mosque. Like, Harlem is completely fucking ass slammed with traffic. You can't even get in and out. They have to pray 5 times a day.
Wait, so now hold on. So now you're upset.
You know what? You don't care.
Dude, you're talking about an entire group of people not being quote compatible with the United States. I just want to point out again maybe you believe that hundreds of thousands of people, if I could just speak, please. Maybe you believe that hundreds of thousands of people or thousands of people in the United States who have only ever known the United States should be forcibly removed. That would be called ethnic cleansing. Or maybe you believe that I don't know, we should just like go around and push them out of our society, ethnic cleansing. Like all of these beliefs that you have, however this like plays out in real life. The reason I'm cutting you off is because you're upset about fucking traffic near a mosque. Yeah, dude, people go to religious sites. You know where my fucking parents live all the way down in Georgia? They live right down the street from a big ass fucking church. I'm not religious, but every single fucking Sunday and Wednesday, this road that is built very poorly, the traffic is crazy at certain times. Never once in my life has I been like, oh my fucking God, all these white Christian, white fucking suburban moms they're all Trump supporters. They all need to get the fuck out. They're not compatible because traffic. What the fuck are we talking about, dude? You are perpetrating do you understand how hateful what you're saying is?
No, it's not, bro. Every fucking day I have to go through a traffic hazard on 87th in Harlem. And yeah, people in your audience that are chatting here, Chicago has streets and they have names. Some of those names are Harlem, Pulaski, even streets called California, if you want to believe it or not, and Sacramento streets, named after all kinds of different names for your fucking stupid audience.
Don't call the people who support me stupid. Dude, chat. Bro. Oh my God. I know it's more in our face now. It's more in my face now. And I talked to some people about this, and it took me, I think, a while to realize it. And it also took me talking to people who didn't look like me. But, like, this type of hate has been in America for a long time. Right? I think it's easier for me to be like, wow, this is so crazy now because it's in my face. And I'm, like, white. So it's never in my face. Now it's in my face all the time because it's gotten so bad, a.k.a. white privilege. I never have to think about these things. But it's genuinely, like, it's, like, shocking and stunning, like how far how much this country has changed in just 5 years, really. Really like 6 or 7. I didn't mean to say 6, 7, but like genuinely. If you mentioned Nick Fuentes in like 2018 and somebody knew who he was, bro. Like if you mentioned like that was like the fucking god, like the evil like fucking the dude who lived, the fucking ogre who lived under the bridge. That's the name you don't say. What movie is that? Like the name you don't say. That dude is one of the most, if not the most popular streamer in the world. If you mentioned that you like Nick Fuentes, you were fired from your job, you were ostracized from your friends, you were a racist, abhorrent person. Yeah. And just to see in 8 years, we went from that to like people just actively being like, I don't think brown people, I don't think Islam is compatible with the United States. I think we should round up brown people, undocumented, ship them out. Actually, I saw a tweet from a sitting U.S., who is this, a U.S. congressman who said, or no, who said this? Maybe was he? Maybe there's some. I think it was a U.S. congressman the other day who said we have a quote. We have a legal immigration problem. Okay. So now it's actually has nothing to do with illegal immigration. It's with legal immigration, we have a culture problem. We have a white problem. And here we are. It's just like, yeah, I just want a country of white people. Holy fuck. Crazy stuff occurring. Yo, Soul Music, thanks for another $10. You're literally so kind. I never take that for granted. You're so sweet. Genuinely. Hey, caller, you voted for a pig found civilly liable for SA and one who's 34-time convicted felon. True. WTF are you talking about? Undocumented are far less likely to commit crime because they want to stay here. That is, yo, can we get a million W's for Soul Music? Genuinely, $10 means like, yeah, like I don't take that for granted ever. It really, really means the world. But yeah, honestly, probably because I just had so many of these conversations leading up to the election. Like, that's never brought up. People are like, oh, violent, corrupt people. Oh, they commit crimes. You voted for a felon, dude. You voted for a fucking felon, a convicted felon. Well, that's different. He didn't commit a crime that he's not brown. It's literally it. Could you imagine if Barack Obama was a fucking convicted felon? Oh my God. Laura Ingraham, if Sean Hannity would be saying the most they would be saying the most racist things imaginable. Their Botox they'd be so mad, like Laura Ingram's Botox would melt out of her face. Steam would be coming out of their ears. If Barack Obama ever caught a fucking felony before running for office, I think he would not have a political career. They would have been like, you're done as a senator. You will never hold political office ever. It's the most, I mean, we're winning. We went from, they got mad at Barack Obama because he wore a tan suit. They got mad at Barack Obama because he put Dijon mustard on a hamburger. Tell me that you've seen the Dijon mustard. I talk about this all the time. Tell me you fucking seen the Dijon mustard Sean Hannity clip. Primetime Fox News. Walks into a burger shop. Do you guys have spicy mustard? Sean Hannity's like, why can't you get regular mustard? Stop. You can't be like the rest of us, Mr. President? Suggesting he's like elitist, he's out of touch. For spicy mustard. That same fucker is on live right now being like 34 felonies and sexually abusing women and regime change war with Iran. Get over it, libs. Fucking disgrace. These people sold us the fuck out. I have my biggest anger toward like anyone in the United States is legitimately Fox News. I think that will go down like that or that media company will go down as like like a huge piece of the pie of just selling us the fuck out. Subpoena text messages that Tucker Carlson, the producers at Fox, whoever else was fucking sitting on those chairs in 2020, that they hated Donald Trump and they knew the election wasn't stolen. They didn't believe it for a second. All the subpoena text messages. We have them. And they were on live TV every day suggesting the 2020 election was not true. That's why they fucking lost the largest defamation lawsuit in American history. They almost had to pay $1 billion to settle a defamation lawsuit. These people sold us the fuck out, dude. All these fucking white people stuffed to the fucking brim with Botox, took our Constitution and lit it on fire for fucking $30 million a year and a fucking penthouse in fucking Tribeca. Go fuck yourself, dude. I hate those fuckers. They make me so mad. They make me so mad. They do. That's right, Gary. That's a good point. They do have another lawsuit. W's Gail. Gail, good to see you. Bro, Mike Collins, Fox wouldn't let Joe Biden breathe. Bro, can you imagine if 10 U.S. troops died under Joe Biden's watch initiating a war in Iran and they asked him, this is what happened today. When do you think it'll end? And he said, quote, when I feel it in my bones. And he showed up to the dignified transfer with a hat on. Donald Trump was wearing a hat at the dignified transfer of the first 6 U.S. troops who died. If Joe Biden did that, I don't even know like if Fox Primetime could go on. Like they'd literally like, that'd be the most irate show of Fox and Friends like ever of all time, fucking forever. It's so boring, dude. It's so crazy. Like, bro, a nightmare that never ends. It will end one day. I firmly believe that. Sometimes when I'm 24, so I often say I've never seen America at peace. And this is going to sound really weird. But I mean, I'm a mega nerd. I don't fucking just do this for like donations or fucking, I love all of you so much. Like, I'm so grateful to be able to, like, people to listen to me politically. But I do this because thank you so much. Charmer from Son of Guam, I appreciate it. I do this because I'm super passionate about it. Passionate about politics, which again, I'm wake up every day so grateful that I have any capacity to do this. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, etc. So thank you to everybody who makes this happen, everybody who watches. I love you. But at this point, I have almost memorized the 2008 Barack Obama acceptance speech because I listen to it all the time. I'll drive. I'll get off TikTok live at like 2 a.m. and I'll just drive around and I'll just listen. And I'm like, man. Low-key makes me tear up, bro. I'm like, fuck. What is this? I've never even seen an America like this. This is crazy. Everyone in the crowd's crying. Oh, that was like one of the most powerful political speeches fucking ever. Paul, thank you for the money gun. And I'm just like, fucking Jesus Christ, dude. I gotta get a fucking sip of water. Someone said, let's hear it. Wait, I bet I could pull up the first few seconds. Even just the first few seconds. 21. What a downfall. It's not great. My mom says the Epstein Files is AI. Like, is she like a Trump supporter? It's AI. This right here. Play the first few seconds.
Hello, Chicago. If there is anyone out there who still does, it's the answer told by lines that stretched around schools and churches in numbers this nation has never seen. By people who waited 3 hours and 4 hours, many for the first time in their lives, because they believed that this time must be different, that their voices could be that difference. It's the answer spoken by young and old, rich and poor, Democrat and Republican, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, gay, straight, disabled and not disabled, Americans who sent a message to the world that we have never been just a collection of individuals or a collection of red states and blue states. We are and always will be the United States of America. It's the answer that led those who've been told for so long by so many to be cynical and fearful and doubtful about what we can achieve, to put their hands on the arc of history and bend it once more toward the hope of a better day. It's been a long time coming, but tonight, because of what we did on this day, in this election, at this defining moment, change has come to America.
And he goes on to be like, if you disagree with me, I still need your help. I promise to be a president for everybody. We have to stop the political division that has led us to this point. I may not have won your vote tonight, but I hear your voices. I need your help, and I will be your president too. Man, fuck. Man, fuck. Who wrote that? Probably David Axelrod. I mean, I don't actually know who his speechwriter was, but like at that time. But maybe Axelrod wrote it, or he wrote it, or they both wrote it. Good night, Nat. Bro, I know. You listen to that, like you practically listen to any other person talk, and you're like, man, Trump can't fucking speak. It's like what I always come to. I'm like, holy smokes. Yo, Jason K, you're the best. You know what's funny? On that note, as much as Makeup by Noel, so good to see you. As much as I love every single person in here and I'd love to stay on, I am exhausted. And it's time for me to go to bed. I got to call it. As much as I hate it, as much as I hate doing it, I'm out of steam. I'm fucking, was it Favreau? Yeah, but I don't know if, like, was he writing the speeches at that time? Wow. Oh my God. I gotta go my ass to bed, dude. Because I have to film so many fucking YouTube videos tomorrow. I gotta cook. I'm really tired, but that's okay. We had a good stream. We were live. Honestly, it didn't feel like we were live for that long, but we were live for like 2 hours. Actually, we might have been live for more than that. Yeah, I think we were live for more than that. Ugh. We were live for an hour 45 plus 40. So over 2 hours. Which is fucking crazy. Oh. You cooked tonight. Thanks, Carrie. I tried. Drink some on. Dude, I had 2 full Celsiuses today and an espresso shot, and then I had like a third of another Celsius. I probably deleted like 550 milligrams of caffeine. No more, dude. My head is pounding. No more. It's bad. You can like partly see my tattoo through this white shirt. Rockstar lemonade? I don't know about that. I don't know. I mean, maybe if it's got no sugar in it. Not to be like, oh, I'm like anti, like, you know. I mean, I put pretty shitty things in my body. You know, I'm a 24-year-old. Like, I'm not gonna sugary drinks. I just like genuinely don't love. Like, I don't like the taste, and they don't make me feel good when there's that much sugar. Like, all the energy drinks with sugar have, like, fucking, like, 45 grams, and it just, like, feels shitty, and it tastes bad, and I'm just like, nah. No real sugar? Okay, delicious. You know what? I'm going to take you up on this. I'm going to trust. Who is this? Who is this? Munchma? Rockstar lemonade. All right. Shit, anything with caffeine, I'll put in my body as long as it doesn't have an ample amount of sugar. You're not no one. You're here. You're a beautiful individual, and you just gave me a suggestion that I'm going to try. I'm going to try it. I swear to God, I'll come back. Katie, well, listen, Katie. You're not a nobody. Don't say that, okay? You're not a fucking nobody. You're brilliant. You're smart. You did fucking great things this week, even if it doesn't feel like it. I know you did. You're too hard on yourself. I'm deducing all these things just from guessing. And thank you for being in my TikTok live. Genuinely. Okay. On that note, I'm going to bed. And I'm going to say this. Okay? Actually, this is my motivational thing for the end of the night. I'm pretty big about mental health, as some people know. Bro, does anyone know how to be stopping like collar burns with shirts? It's the last thing I'm going to say, okay? Because somebody in the comments said, I'm a no one. Listen to me, all right? My motivation, people have heard about my mental health journey. I was I started TikTok in October 2022, went to an outpatient program for depression in like January of 2023. I don't know what's going on in your life right now, but I'm speaking to you. I know for a fact you're way too hard on yourself. B, you're doing good things and you're doing good work and you should be more proud of yourself. C, and you certainly aren't a nobody, okay? Whatever you want to do in life, you can do. I do TikTok, fucking YouTube, social media / politics full time, which I'm very, very grateful for. But I had a 2.7 GPA in high school because fucking I hate school, dude. It's so hard to get Chris to do things he doesn't want to do. That's fine. I probably could have been a good school student if I applied myself, whatever. I went to Kennesaw State. I applied to one school, Kennesaw State University. Love it. Hooty hoo, okay? I spent my first 2 years partying, not going to class, and everybody saw me in all my friend groups and everything is Chris is the kid who he's just can't get his life together. He just can't figure it out. I worked as a server at a restaurant. What is this kid gonna do? Everybody was getting toward graduating. I was fucking failing classes. And it was just the joke, the literal running joke amongst a group of friends at that time was I was most likely to not succeed. This was a thing, okay? I remember this vividly. There was a night of drinking one time, and we went around talking about, anyway, it doesn't matter. The point being is that I never started a nonprofit. I never went to Harvard. I never did any of the dumb shit, which actually it's not dumb. It's super impressive, and there's a lot of people who did that who are way smarter than me, for the record. The point being is that I've always been passionate about politics. Everybody knows it. Everybody knew it. I was the dude in high school who was fucking ranting about, I was the raging liberal in high school. I would post videos to a private Instagram story just to my high school friends. It was 800 people, right? And you have to request the Instagram and I have to accept whatever. And I'd post these things to my story, ranting about how much I hated Trump. I was fucking 16, 17. And people would DM me, a couple, and I just loved arguing with people, talking to people. A lot of people were Trump supporters. A lot of my friends, I would argue with my friends' parents all the time. We'd get in screaming matches. Oh my God. And I was a 17-year-old and everybody saw me as the 16 and 17-year-old dumb liberal, he'll grow out of it. But everybody knew. I really, really fucking, it was a thing. And my parents didn't fucking talk about politics ever. They wouldn't even tell me who they voted for because they were you should just go figure it out. We don't want to tell you who we voted for, right? So I just fucking, this was just a found passion of mine, okay? And people would bug me, go on TikTok, go on TikTok, go on TikTok. I was I don't give a fuck about TikTok, okay? I don't want to post on TikTok. And one day, fast forward, I'm out of high school. I'm in college. I've been fucking doing nothing but drinking and partying. I'm in a bad place in life. I'm working in AT&T retail. And I'm just one day in my car with an energy drink in my hand, a Wednesday afternoon, no interest in going to class, got to explain my transcript to my parents. And I'm I'll fuck posting a rant on Instagram. I'll post one on TikTok. I have nothing better to do. That then led to whatever the fuck this is, okay? Nothing about me changed. The thing that changed is that I finally realized, I always knew my passion was politics. I didn't even know this world existed. I realized that it could intertwine with social media. And at a certain level, it took me a long time, because now it's 2026, to just believe in myself and believe that I had a place in this, okay? And so all that to say, now I'm here. I made a video with Senator Warren today, which was amazing. I met Joe Biden in the Oval Office, which was super cool. And in each of these scenarios, I sit there and I go, I'm not meant to be here. I'm not supposed to be here. Who the fuck is this? The person next to me is some Harvard grad or started a nonprofit or started a media company. When I met Joe Biden for the first time in Atlanta, he was still campaigning at the time. And I was probably the youngest person in that room by 20 years at least. And I was the only creator in the room, okay? And it's a line full of people. John Ossoff was there, Raphael Warnock was there, all these people in suits, fancy, and then me. I genuinely looked out of place, okay? And that's fine, but I did. I didn't know anybody there. A lot of electeds, getting their photo line with Joe Biden. So I'm at the very back of the line, and I'm fucking, sweating profusely. I'm, blacking out. I'm this is crazy. And I get up. I'm the last person, and I go up to fucking Joe Biden, the President of the United States at the time, and Dr. Jill Biden, the First Lady, is there. And I shook Joe Biden's hand, and the first thing I said to Joe Biden was, I know you, I'm not real. I said something to the effect of, I just make videos online. And I chuckled, and I said, I know you just met a bunch of people who do more than that, but I just make videos on the internet. And he grabbed my hand, and he looked at me, and he was like, you don't understand how powerful your voice is. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. What you do is extremely important. Your voice is extremely important. And I said, thank you. And I talked to him about my family and my dad. And I talked to the First Lady. and he was incredibly kind. And I walked out, and I listened to the whole speech, and I'm there. And as I'm leaving, or no, I'm sorry, Joe Biden's exact words. I'll never forget this. Sorry, I was paraphrasing because I was like, what is the? He said, quote, never underestimate the power of your voice. That's what he said. He's like, what you do is very important. Never underestimate the power of your voice. And he said, thank you, sir. And so I walk out, and I'm the only one there. And this is like the first time I've ever done anything like this. Okay? It's crazy that this all happened. And I'm sitting, and I watched the whole speech. And again, nobody that I know is at this. Like, I'm by myself. And so the rally ends, and I'm leaving, and somebody comes up to me, and I won't say his name, but he comes up to me, and he says, "Are you Chris?" And I said, "I am Chris." And this is somebody who had who has a pretty significant disability, and started talking. They said, "I joined the Democratic Party of Georgia. This is the first rally I've ever been in. I now do work. Like my work is in Democratic politics in Georgia, making a difference about issues like disability that I'm really passionate about. And it's all because of you. I saw one of your videos on TikTok. I started following you. I didn't work in politics. And then you inspired me so much that I got a job and I showed up at this rally. And the only reason I showed up at this rally is because you made a TikTok video." I walk out of that, again, alone, and this is when I made my video after meeting Joe Biden, and I was very emotional because it meant a lot to me. All of those series of events meant a lot to me, okay? Again, considering I started going to an outpatient program for depression and couldn't get my life together and hated school and all these different things, okay? I somehow made it to that point and then this point. The reason I say all this is that somebody said, quote, I'm nobody, I'm nothing. That's just not true, okay? You're capable of whatever you want in this world, and you make far more of a difference in whatever you do in the daily lives of people you talk to, in your friends and family lives, even if it doesn't feel like it, even if it feels like no one cares, even if it feels like it doesn't matter, it does. The smile you give to somebody when you walk down the road, that matters. That changes their day. When you give people kind words, your friends and family, like you are an extraordinary person, and you can do whatever you want in this world. Whatever your passion is, just chase it, okay? And be proud of yourself. That's my advice to you. And now I'm going to bed. And I love you. Everyone's someone's everything. Exactly. Beautifully said, literally. And I'm down on myself all the time, for the record, okay? Just the past few weeks, I have these crazy up and downs. I was literally having a conversation with someone the other day, because for 2 days I was like, I'm not meant for this field. I can't do it. I can't figure it out. Everybody posts more content than me. I how do I have this as a full-time thing, able to pay rent, and I can't even get myself to post enough videos, and I get all these content blocks. Like, what the fuck is wrong with me? I'm not meant for this. And eventually, you go through the ebbs and flows. I'm not trying to suggest that I've perfected this, especially with the mental health journey. I'm now trying to wrap this up because now I feel like it's gone a billion different directions. The point being is that you're not a nobody. You're here for a reason. You should be proud of yourself, and don't talk down to yourself. And if people tell you can't do something, tell them what the dude in our comments today who's at the Juliana Stratton rally. If you're in Illinois, please go vote for Juliana Stratton. You have 3 days. Juliana Stratton said, "Some people tell me my ideas are too bold." The dude was in the TikTok comments. He was at the rally. This is my favorite part of the rally. She said, this place was packed. "Some people tell me my ideas are too bold." And he said, "Fuck them." And everyone started screaming. I'm with that guy. Fuck him. Okay? All right. I need to go to bed now. Rhea Riot, thank you so much for the send. Oh my goodness, you're so kind. I genuinely appreciate you. It's good to see you. W's for Rhea Riot. Thanks for the rant. Please know that you're worthy of so many incredible things in this world. Never forget, every room you are in, you deserve to be in. That's very sweet. And another $1. Definitely needed. Thank you so much, by the way. Can we get some W's for Rhea Riot? Also saying, MAGA tonight has been such an absolute nightmare. Also, Twitch, Minecraft, or Jackbox stream soon. That'd be really fun. Thanks for being you and keep up the work. Also, congratulations on all the success on YouTube. Bro, spam those W's for Uriah. I appreciate you. I would love, maybe tomorrow we'll go live on Twitch. I play Battlefield. Battlefield's like a little, it's not Minecraft. I feel like the vibes are different. But yeah, we'll make it happen. And thank you. Thank you for being here. Genuinely. It means the world. You guys are the best. I love all of you so much. Oh my God. Okay. I'm going to bed. I love you guys. Thanks for 2K would be fun. I've been playing a lot of 2K lately. I'm fucking burnt though. I'm burnt on my career, dude. Yeah, Jafer, I'll be live tomorrow. I'll be live. Join my Discord. Maybe I'll shout out when I'm going live. I'll shout out when I'm going live in my Discord. Join my Discord. There's a link in my link tree. I fixed it. Kara, good to see you. Jackbox with Harry would be fun. All right, guys. I love you. I'm out of here. Thanks for all the incredible support. YouTube, thank you. Oh, my goodness. Ian, thanks so much for the $3 over on YouTube. Chris, thanks for being you. Thank you for being here. That really means the world. Genuinely, I don't take that for granted. Like, I'm serious. I'm so serious. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love each and every one of you. 4 a.m. in Chicago, 3 a.m. Chance of being born, 1 in a trillion. True. You might be a nobody but the world but the right person, you are their world. Yo, I like that, Montana. Face Montana. Wow. You're an inspiration, Chris? Yo, Pepper, thanks. I love you. Chris, you're an absolutely awesome guy. We're all super glad you believe in yourself. I love you. You're literally amazing. I try to believe in myself. I try. 12 pounds. Thank you so much. That was beautiful, Chris. You're awesome. Yo, Lizzie, thank you. Holy fucking shit. That's really kind. Can we get 1,000,000 W's for Lizzie in the chat really quick before we go to bed? Lizzie, thank you, genuinely. That goes a really long way. I appreciate that. I kind of feel like that was, I should have, this is like me, now I'm like practicing when I go on rant. I'm practicing my public speaking when I go on rants. It just didn't start with like a clear what question I was answering. So then I feel like I was just kind of going on and trying to like attack. I feel like it was a little rambly, It's like, what exactly was the point of all that? It was kind of, it kind of felt shitty because it felt not shitty. It felt good. Like, it was cool. Don't get me wrong. Lizzie, I appreciate you, genuinely. Thank you so much. Like, don't get me wrong. But I was just like, I didn't mean to be, like, there was a point where I'm like, man, I'm just in here flexing. Like, I'm not trying to, like, my goal is not to be like, bro, I was nothing and now I'm something because I'm not something. My point was that I was under the belief before I started doing any of this, before I saw any success in my life at success. I fucking hate that. I mean, what the fuck? Everyone's version of success is different. Ignore that. Before I saw some of the things I was passionate about, like before I got to this point where I was like, wow, like I can, I don't know, do something I'm passionate about, like politics, do this, make money, live on my own. I don't fucking know. Have healthy relationships. Like I always thought I had to, like I couldn't be that. I can't, let's say like I can't talk about politics because like I didn't go to Harvard. I can't start a business or do certain things because like this is who I am. I am the kid who fucking fails the classes in college and like doesn't show up and is seen as like the, kind of like mess who can't get his life together. That's who I am. So I cannot do these things. I'm not allowed. Like I can't. It's not possible. And what I realized is there's a lot of people who think that whatever they're doing, they can't do because like, oh, well, I didn't go to Harvard. It's like, who gives a flying fuck, okay? You're brilliant and you're smart and you're the best. Do you know how many times now I'm in rooms and people always start and they're like, where'd you go to school? And it's always like, did you go to GW? If I submitted an application to GW, they'd spit on me. They'd be like, they'd make me pay double for the application fee just for disrespecting them in that way, okay? And every time I say I haven't graduated from school, I will graduate from Kennesaw State one day, I swear to God. And every time I start with that, they're surprised. And people, like, it's like, you don't have to be, you are who you're supposed to be. Don't let society's barriers of who you're supposed to be get in the way of whatever you want to achieve. And it doesn't just have to be fucking school related, okay? It can be anything related. That was just how it was for me. All right, I love you guys. I'm going to bed now. You guys are the best. Lizzie, seriously, huge jobs. Thanks, beautiful. I appreciate you. Okay, much love, everybody. Get some rest. I'll be around tomorrow. Happy Friday. Happy St. Patrick's Day. We'll talk soon. Mwah. Good night. African Joy's mom. I love you. You're amazing. Get some rest. Love you guys. Good night. Jack Piper's mom. Thanks for being the best. Thanks to all my mods. You guys are all so amazing. Genuinely. Carrie, Jack Piper's mom, Taylor, Rhea Riley, everybody. You're amazing. Good night now. YouTube, I appreciate you as always. I'll be back. I'll be around.